There used to be a graying tower alone on the sea, and you became the light on the dark side of me. And love remains the drug.
I'm not used to this, Kim. I'm so sorry.
Not the pill. But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become large and the light that you shine can be seen?
It's hot.
Yeah. Baby, I compare you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get at you, the stranger it feels, yeah. Now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave. Ba-da-da, ba-da, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-da, ba-da, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. There is so much a man can tell you, so much he can say, and you became my power, my pleasure, my pain, baby. To me, you're like a grown addiction that I can't deny. Yeah, won't you tell me, is that healthy, baby? Did you know that when it snows, my eyes become large and the light that you shine can be seen? Oh shit. Ba-da-da, 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 ba-da-da. Now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave.
Chocolate.
Hi, welcome to Undercooked Analysis. This is a special under pie acooktasis analysis.
Yeah.
Coffee pie cooked analysis pie. That's the whole
Wait,
name.
one more time?
Undercooked coffee pie-ness cooked pie
Under coffee anal
cock.
pie.
Got it. Coffee cock.
Under coffee anal pie.
Under coffee anal pie.
Yeah.
Under coffee anal pie. Hi, welcome to Under Coffee Anal Pie. I am. We are sitting in a pickup truck.
Yeah, we are.
With a laptop in the middle of the console.
It's okay. We threw up some acoustic panels.
It's true. That is a thing that happened, and you can't prove it's not.
Yeah. 'Cause you're not here.
They were very expensive. There's adhesive all over the truck.
And me and the coffee and pie crew are camping.
Hey.
What's that, raw?
Pitch and tents.
And we figured, what a perfect opportunity to tell some campfire stories. There's also a roaring campfire in this truck.
Yes.
Yes.
You guys, getting home might be a problem now.
Yeah. So,
Right.
It's a little smoky in here.
Yeah.
Right here in the
You know what
hearse.
else might be a problem? Breathing. Breathing may also.
Oh yeah, because all
be
the
a
windows
problem.
are up. There's a fire in here.
Yeah.
I think acoustic paneling is very flammable.
Can you maybe open this?
I could.
Let's do it.
Are you cool if I turn on the truck to open the top window?
Yeah.
Turn it on the truck
Fuck
to
it.
turn on. Fuck it.
Turn on the truck and fuck it.
There ain't no rules in under coffee anal pie.
Yeah. Sweet, sweet openings.
Okay.
Sweet
Okay.
opening.
So
No,
we
smoke is
figured
leaving.
since we're camping,
Yep.
Just turn it off.
Sounds of camping.
Glamping. That's what we're
we're glamping.
glamping.
Well, but before I get into that, please allow us to reintroduce ourselves. Starting with the individual to my left because he is first.
Yep. And I'm in a driver's seat. So my name is Sean, and I am 30 years old. I like long walks on the beach, but not too long. Maybe a 30-minute walk would be fine, but 45 might be a little too much. I have a cup of not piping, but hot enough coffee to get my brain running.
It's piping warm.
We've discussed this on Undercooked Analysis before. That's one of those expressions that
I for some reason find disgusting.
Piping hot?
Yeah.
Where did piping come from when it's piping hot?
Like a tea kettle.
Okay.
It's piping like an organ is.
Yeah. Beep. That's not a pipe. That's not a
No, that's
Fun fact.
that's an answering machine.
fact. Leave your message at the beep.
Leave your message after the piping hot beep.
Gross.
That does
How did you make that gross? That wasn't
used-
gross to me until right now.
I used to play bass for piping hot beep. Let's go behind you.
Who's behind me? Who's in my personal space?
Well, I guess I'm DeMarcus.
guess?
I guess.
Today.
That's who we're settling on. I guess we're telling our age because that's what Sean did.
I'm sorry. That's the first thing that popped in my head. So you do
31.
whatever you'd like.
And I like to have chocolate poured on me. Yeah, I'm, a guy who likes looking at the world, asking it to love me. Give me all you want. Give me your money. Give me your time.
Give me all your chocolate.
And your prayers.
Give me your money.
Give me your money. I'm black.
Have it.
Give me your tired, your poor, and all of your money.
Sorry.
We might be awful
All your
people.
lovin'.
Yeah.
Give me all your money.
Hey, guy behind me, introduce yourself.
I am of adequate girth.
Almost 8.
My name is Brad, and are we doing age or length?
Yes.
Okay, so I am 32. And if
Inches.
you know your units, that is years. And are we saying stuff about us now? Is this part of it now?
Sure.
Okay.
We're on a different podcast.
Sure. I love cooking. I make decorative soaps, and you didn't know that, did you? Yeah. And
I've learned something today.
And I dress up like a Viking and sing in a comedy show.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
At least once a year.
It's weird that we've been friends for so long, and dressing up as a Viking and singing in a barbarian show is not the weird thing, but making soap.
Yeah.
Making soap was like what
You
the
make
hell?
soap? I haven't in a while. It's been about a year. Oh, there's some people screaming on a bullhorn outside.
Yep.
They probably can't hear this in the audio.
Oh,
but-
we can.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say also they're probably like screaming for us because of this roaring fire in this truck that's definitely on fire right now. So
And we're so calm and collective.
Yeah. Collective?
And I am your host.
you're
My
collective.
name is Alan.
Hi, Alan.
Hey, Alan.
Listeners of this show know who I am. But we are introducing ourselves. So I am 32 years of age. And
Recently.
very recently.
Yeah.
And
Mazel tov.
Thank you. I also had my breasts.
are you okay?
Sorry, I thought he said breast. I think I need to get my ears cleaned.
My breasts came in on my 32nd birthday.
It's a big deal.
I thought that's...
Amazon delivered them next day.
What's a little fact about me? A fact about me, I'm weirded out how much, like, when you go to a porn site,
Let's just start off right here.
like
All right.
how much of the front page is incest?
yeah.
Oh, no. Step incest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
Still.
step brothers and
Here's a weird thing. Like
stepmothers.
I have a theory. But
my
I'm sorry,
question
I
is
interrupted.
like, yes, there is a lot of like incest stuff, but it's also one of those like, how long has it been since your parent and step parent got married, or like is this right after the wedding? Is this before the wedding? Like
That's okay.
that's my weird.
That's a weird distinction.
for me. Because for me, like my parents divorced. My stepmom does not have a daughter, but if she did, and she was very attractive, and if something happened, then it's like, do we do it after they get married? Do we do it before they get married? Do we do it like? It's a weird, like, when you have a step parent, you'll understand.
I think Not that I know much about the plots of these movies, but I think the implication is not that.
Yeah.
However, I do have a theory on this, and I was talking about this the other day. My theory is that is catering to people who grew up either with no siblings or with siblings only of their same gender. Or their same, like, they're opposite of their sexual preference.
I can see that, yeah.
Specifically. Mm-hmm. So, like, yeah, like, a guy that grew up without any sisters might have that fantasy of, like, man, I wish I had a sister. But even though if you did grow up with a sister, all those people are like, no, that's gross. Like, I've known this person my entire life. Or in step siblings, like, I've known this person a very long time since I was a child. And
See, a lot of those, like, it's weird because, like, they all seem like have known each other for a while, and then they're just like, ha 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 ha, my dick is
we're family now. Let's put our naughty parts in each other.
My dick is in this thing. Oh, it's accidentally in you now. Ha ha.
Wait, hold on.
I haven't seen those.
Wait,
I've seen
it was in a thing, and then it was in you? What's the first thing?
It was like a pumpkin.
Yeah, I was accidentally fucking this custard cream pie.
Yeah.
And then you showed up, and I was like, you know what? You're more,
like that.
you're more, clean than this pie.
I was like, hey, stepsis, do you like custard cream pies?
And then, and she's like, oh, well, I guess, I see your penis now, so it's time
Hey,
for me to...
stepsister, please don't tell the mister about the things we do.
So
God.
Is this how every UA goes? Is
Yes.
like starting off with
Yes.
like step sibling porn?
Exactly.
Yes. And we figured
David and Kayla.
we figured since we're camping, we could use this opportunity to come up with and tell some campfire stories.
Okay.
So
we doing it as like a collective unit, or
I should have asked. This is UA, right? Not Midnight Marinara.
it's UCA.
Oh, undercooked analysis.
yeah.
So it's 3 words.
Midnight Marinara is the pre-written radio play stuff.
Got it.
Yeah.
And what's the Latin one?
That's my personal channel.
That's great. There's so many interconnected podcasts here. You guys have content to listen to for days.
Right.
So campfire stories.
Yeah.
Stories told around the campfire.
Mandor, car hook.
Mandor, hand hook, car door.
Said, where my baby? And I looked out. Mandor, hand cook, car cook.
Sweaty.
I love you, Sweaty.
I love you, Sweaty.
There's so many great campfire stories.
Yeah.
Hold on. Sean is awkwardly chuckling. Sean, do you
What? Hi, hello.
Do you know the Mandor hand hook?
Yes, I do know man door, hand hook, car door story, yes.
Okay. Just making sure.
Okay.
So what kind of story? Anyone want to go first? Or?
Okay, I got a fast one, I probably do. Alright. You guys ever hear about the 4 against 1,000?
No.
Okay.
Wait.
So there were 4 friends, and they were about to go into a battle, right? Just 4 against 1,000. All right. So they're at their home, and they say, "All right, we're about to do the 4 against 1,000 battle. Honey, I love you. Make sure the kids are taken care of. Make sure everyone's safe. We'll take care of this. Because it's 4 against 1,000." So then they go to their blacksmith, and like, "All right, we need the best swords that you can come up with." I'm using blacksmith because I'm playing Witcher 3 right now, and that game's amazing, so. Blacksmith is like, "All right, what do you guys need? We need your finest swords with the strongest materials. They need to be as sharp as possible, because we're about to have a battle. It's just going to be 4 against 1,000. And he goes, "Oh my god, okay." So he gets the swords, gets to them. It's like, "All right, how is these? These are great. This will be useful." They go to their armor and do the same thing. They get the best armor. They get the best supplies. They are prepared. So the battle of 4 against 1,000 finally shows up. And this battle is long, and this battle is tough, and this battle is
strong, and down to get the friction on.
So ladies,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you want to ride in my Honda Ridgeline?
Already in here.
We're already in here, okay. So, battle lasts for weeks and weeks and weeks. So many deaths, so many people just gone. And then finally at the end, you know, in the 4 against 1,000 battle, the 4 men who were around each other, they won, which was great. And I'll use our names because that'll make us into the story.
I mean, we are 4.
I look up at my friends and I go, Alan, Brad, DeMarcus, those were 4 of the toughest bastards I ever fought in my life. The end.
Oh, so they didn't win. the four dudes. It was 1,000.
Yes, the 4 dudes were a part of the 1,000 team. That's the joke.
Cool.
That's a fast story. Thanks, Mr. Fensholt from Boy Scouts Troop 315, Olathe, Kansas. What?
It's a good story. I guess I should have specified that this is a horror podcast.
Oh, okay. Well then, and then there was a hook on the car door. Oh no.
All right. Well, it's not a story, but it's
Saved.
It is it's like a kind of like a jokish horror a jokish horror. Those 2 guys, they were going camping, and they got to the top of the mountain. You know, one guy decided he wanted to chill out and, you know, have a little time to himself. The other guy went off. He was like, all right, I'm gonna explore, and yeah, and
yeah.
And
That's how you say grandpa in Cantonese.
couple hours later, the guy comes crawling back. He's like exhausted, and he's like, just like that. And he's like, oh man, you okay? What's going on? He was like, oh man, I found this damsel on the train time.
Time out. God damn it. We're coming up with campfire stories.
Yeah. It was gonna be a horror. It was gonna get us into
This is a well-known joke.
Well, fuck. Everybody. No, I love everybody. Okay, well, my penis got cut off. And,
Are you okay?
Okay.
Horrible. Okay, I think I can do it.
Go for it.
I can save this. Okay. This is actually a personal story from my own history. Does that work?
Yeah,
As long as it's scary?
that would be great.
Okay. So, when I was a young boy, my father took me into the city to see a marching band.
I think Alan knows this one. Does he know this?
He said,
D.
son, when you grow up, can you be the savior of the people? The beaten, the broken, and the damned. Because one day I'll leave you a phantom to
Nighttime.
Oh, you know what I just realized? This is the lyrics to Black Parade. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I got my own life confused with Black Parade. I'm sorry, that happens sometimes.
It does.
Does it have to be an original story? Because I do have a...
It does have it.
One that not everybody knows.
It has to be an original story.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Brad got one.
Do I?
Do you?
I mean, all right. Yes, I have one. There was a man who was named Fletcher. And this is a historical story, is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Fletcher was a young teenager in England around the mid-1800s. And he didn't grow up with a whole lot. And so very early in his life, he got arrested for petty crimes and shipped off to Van Diemen's Land in Australia. And if you don't know anything about that time period, parts of Australia were a penal colony for England, and they had this place called Van Diemen's Land, which that was part of the penal colony. So he got shipped over there, and they used to take these inmates and felons and whatnot and have them do like hard labor. And join like the local militia and stuff like that. So he was in Van Diemen's Land. He did his hard labor. He did his time, and he got recruited to be part of an expedition to quell some of the indigenous population of Australia in exchange for a commuted sentence. And so he joined this trek, and they walked so long through the Australian outback that most of the actual military and the mercenaries and the hired guns abandoned the mission before they had completed it. They kind of took their money and ran because it was so long of a journey and so dangerous through the Australian bush. And at one point, Fletcher actually was promoted, which doesn't really happen, but so few of the original kind of party remained that they kind of brought him on into the military and made him a colonel. And after that, he became sort of hired gun, and he moved to South Africa. And there was a legend at the time, because there was a lot of sort of like contention over that region. The English were there, the Dutch were there, both with settlements, and then also the native populations were in South Africa. And he kind of set up shop, and he was living his life, kind of scraping by, but it was very cheap to live there at the time. And so he would serve as like a mercenary. People needed to collect debts or take over, ships that had been themselves taken over by pirates or whatnot. He would kind of get his gold and go do the dirty deed and what have you. Well, this English gentleman, an older fellow, came down with a party, and he explained to Fletcher that there was this legend that there was a treasure in the jungle to the north, that like an unexplored area, and he needed someone that was relatively familiar with the land to serve as a guide. And this was not really the kind of thing Fletcher had done before, but he was familiar enough with the area, so he decided, okay, I'll give this a shot. And the old man, whose name was Mahoney, Mahoney had his own kind of crew that came with them. They made it out of the English-held Cape Town and into the Orange Country, which was held by the Dutch, and I believe they called it Orange Free State at that time. And they moved into the unexplored territories of South Africa. And this whole time, Mahoney's kind of keeping his cards close to his chest. And he doesn't really say what the treasure is, but he's dead set on finding this treasure. One night, they're sitting around a campfire, and Fletcher notices this glint on Mahoney's side and asks Mahoney, what is that? And Mahoney kind of pushes his jacket aside, and he has a revolver. And he said, where we're going, we might need this. And Fletcher says, okay, yeah, that's a really nice weapon. I haven't seen one that pristine and well polished and, fancy looking in a long while. And Mahoney lets him hold it, and it's got heft to it. It's a nice weapon. And so Fletcher hands it back over. They finish their time around the campfire, and that's it for the evening. They continue north the next day, and they keep pressing into the jungle. At one point, it's late at night, and Fletcher hears something kind of just on the outskirts of the campgrounds, and he wakes up and he's trying to keep his eye on it just in case it is some of the native population, if it's marauders, if it's another explorer party. He's trying to kind of keep quiet, and these jungle cats kind of charge into the clearing, and Fletcher screams for everyone to get up, and the party sort of gets up, and Mahoney's there. He pulls out his gun. He shoots two of the jungle cats square right between the eyes, drops both of them, and after 15 minutes or so, the scrap is done, but the damage is done too. A significant number of the party had been grievously wounded or straight up killed. A lot of these big cats, they'll go for neck bites, and so it's the strength,
instant death,
instant death. It'll snap your neck.
Yeah.
And so Fletcher explains that he's never seen the animals act this way before. So there must be, some condition here that's causing this. Maybe it's a drought in this area. Maybe it's, the water supply has gone foul, but something should be causing this, and he's not quite sure what. Mahoney is convinced that their path is cursed. Mm-hmm. And Fletcher thinks this is ridiculous. There's no such thing as curses. We're not cursed. There's an environmental factor, for sure. So he goes back to sleep, kind of. He's stirring all night, but the next day they push northward. They keep going northward. And at one point, as they're going through the jungle, they get lost. And there's a moment where Fletcher doesn't think he's going to be able to make it out of the jungle at all. The greenery has become so dense, and it's so difficult to push your way through all of this area that he doesn't know. And it's so, everything's so familiar. He doesn't even feel like he can backtrack. And the crew says that they're going to split up and look for an exit. Fletcher says this is a terrible idea. We should stick together, and we should just all go in one direction. But the crew won't listen to him. They say, they're convinced if they split up, they can find the exit. Well, Mahoney sticks with Fletcher, and a few other men stay with him too. And Fletcher does eventually find the edge of the jungle, but try as they might, they stayed at the edge of the jungle for 3 days and were constantly calling for the party, but dared not venture back inside for fear that they would get lost again, and the party never showed up. So now it's down to Fletcher, Mahoney, and just a few other men. They continue pushing northward at Mahoney's suggestion, and eventually they get to a stream, and they need to stop and get water, and they all fill their cups and drink the water, and they don't think anything of it, and they continue northward, but halfway there, the remaining men in the party fall out. They get grievously ill and can't continue, and they're vomiting and they're retching blood, And, Fletcher explains, like, it would be nice to try and keep them with us, but at this point they could be contagious, and that just risks all of our own safety. And Mahoney agrees, and they continue on. Mahoney leads them further northward, and they find a native settlement. And while they're there, they're sort of accepted. This population hadn't really had much interaction with white men, and so they were welcoming, and they offered food and drink, goat's milk and various meats and whatnot, and they both sort of partook, and then they waited there in the evening, and they thought that they were going to get a good night's rest, but a neighboring tribe came to raid the village where they were staying, and Mahoney pulled out his revolver and went into the fray to sort of help out, and so did Fletcher. Fletcher picked up a sword and was trying to assist the village that helped him. And Mahoney shot 3 of the attackers, and Fletcher was able to cut back a few of the attackers. And unfortunately, the attacking village won the battle, and instead of killing Mahoney and Fletcher, they took them prisoner, and they started leading them back to their village. And because this was the night, Fletcher and Mahoney were talking to one another, and Fletcher suggested, we can run away. Like, they're obviously tired. They just fought a battle. We can get out of this. We just have to run as fast as we can. And Mahoney agreed. And while they were being led away, they made a break for it, and they ran northward. They hit the edge of a lake. They're being chased by these warriors. They hit the edge of a lake, and they start swimming. And they get across to the other side of the lake. It's pitch black. The only thing they can see is moonlight, and they're completely bushed. The attacking tribe didn't follow them into the lake. No reason that they could discern why that happened. But Mahoney and Fletcher get to the other side of the lake. They find a forest, and Mahoney kind of looks at one of his maps, this document that he's been kind of looking at every once in a while, and he says, I think this is it. I think this is where we find the treasure. And Fletcher says, okay, good. This has been a nightmare expedition. And Mahoney goes, okay, we just have to get into the heart of this forest. And they go into the forest. They go in through the tree line, and they see all sorts of wildlife that they haven't encountered. There's snakes in the trees now. There's monkeys. There's growls in the distance.
Growls.
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 Animal growls.
Like Wilson.
And eventually they come to a flat stone marker in the middle of the forest in an unexplored area of southern Africa. And Mahoney looks at it, and he says, this is it. And he bends down and he touches the stone. And he says, I've been looking for this for longer than you could possibly imagine. And Fletcher says, "Okay, just hurry up. Do what you have to do. Pick it up. Put it in your pack." Mahoney's like, "Okay, yeah, just give me a minute. Give me a minute to do what I need to do." And Mahoney looks up after a moment, and he sees, sort of at the edge of this clearing, a pair of black eyes shimmering at the edge of the forest. And Fletcher looks over and he sees the silhouette of something he's never seen before. He looks back to Mahoney and he says, "What is that? What have you gotten me into?" Mahoney pulls his gun, puts it to his temple, and pulls the trigger. The end.
What? What did he get him into?
I like it.
What was it?
Who was it?
That's the point.
Yeah.
Well, who was it?
So, was it Mahoney sacrificing? Like he was like a slave to this thing in the jungle, and like he was like he had to bring someone new so he can get out of it, or is that like is that for me to interpret? Or is
It is.
Yes.
It is for you to interpret.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
It could be anything you want it to be.
Okay, that's what I think.
I choose to believe it's Shaquille O'Neal.
I don't know why.
so-
I don't know why Mahoney did that.
So, Alan, did you recognize any themes in there?
We had previously talked about a story like this, hadn't we?
We did. So a long time ago, Alan told me that he was going to write this short story, and he wanted me to write one to pair with it. And I wrote it and never sent it to him. And I told him, like, just so you know, I did write this.
Yeah,
I just
this is-
never sent it to you.
If anyone knows my Revolver series, there was originally I was gonna write 3 stories myself and get 3 other writers to write the other 3, but then I just ended up doing all 6 myself, and yeah.
I wanted to do a man versus nature version of the Revolver.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so that's paired with his Revolver series. And what were you gonna call this?
I don't think I titled it. What would you call it?
Rumble in the jungle.
Good.
Give it
actually the
a
title
simple
already.
title that doesn't really give anything away, like Treasure Hunt or something like that.
Cool.
Yeah. I was gonna say One Journey Into the Night, but that's
Or
not
like,
the right
yeah,
thing.
trek through, or like trek through the jungle or something like that. What's this black spot on this one?
Man's
I think maybe just the treasure.
Yeah.
the treasure. Oh, okay, yeah, I like that. I like
The
that a lot.
Adventures of Mahoney and
Mahoney's Treasure.
Oh yeah,
Treasure?
that's good. Mahoney's Treasure. Yep.
Ooh, okay.
That's it. That's the title. Mahoney's Treasure.
There it is. Produce it.
Yeah, no, that was good.
Thanks,
Oh,
man.
Yeah,
I very much enjoyed that.
Thank you.
yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
What about you, Al?
What about me?
You got one?
any car door hand stories.
Any man door hand hook car doors. I can kind of try and freestyle something.
Okay. Yep. God dang you.
Okay. So the key to the start of every campfire story is 4 friends just like us.
Oh no, that means it's us. Run.
We're out camping, and they were seated around a campfire, just like the one we're seated around
right now in this truck.
Just at an actual camp and not inside of a truck. And they go around and they're roasting marshmallows. They're having a good time. And one of them turns to the one left of them and is like, what are you most afraid of? What would you say? And this is me trying to. This is me just trying to do the classic campfire story.
Mm-hmm. Are we answering you?
No.
Okay.
He
knows our fears
What are you
already.
most afraid of? What are you afraid of? And it's like, oh man, I used to live in this creaky old house, and I couldn't get a wink of sleep because I thought it was like haunted or whatever. And so just kind of noises in the night is kind of what I'm afraid of. It's like interesting. What about you? Me, I'm afraid of commitment. Everyone gets a good laugh. What about you? What are you afraid of? Said the third person, and third person says, I'm afraid of, it's weird to be out camping. I'm just in general, like, kind of afraid of, like, wildlife and, like, just how nature can kill you in general. So, the person who started the conversation is like, interesting. And then they turn to the person who started it and it's like, what are you most afraid of? And gets quiet and he's like, the fact that this is like the 19th time we've had this conversation.
Nice.
It's good.
Ooh.
I like that.
Ooh.
That inspired me. Can I riff on that?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Okay. So there were these four friends that were sitting around a campfire, and they're all drinking their coffees, trying to stay warm. And they one of them kind of speaks up and says, "Hey guys, let's do something spooky, campfire, yeah. Everyone tell me your worst fears." Turns to the first guy, DeMarcus, and he says, "What's your worst fear?" And DeMarcus says,
I'm afraid of the dark.
"Afraid of the dark."
Yeah.
Well, glad we've got the campfire.
Yeah.
Then he turns to the second guy, Sean, and he says, "Sean, what's your worst fear?" And Sean says,
When at camping, I mean, if the laws of nature try to kill you, then you've got to be prepared for it. So,
Yeah.
any kind of crazy nature.
"Good thing you've got that knife on you."
Yep.
You know? And he turns to the third guy, Alan, and he says, "What are you afraid of, Alan?"
Just my mortality in general.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can appreciate that.
Just the idea that eventually this is over and
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, I very much appreciate that. And then the fourth guy pauses for a second, and he says, "You guys know what I'm afraid of?"
What?
What?
And he takes a small red box that he had sitting next to him, a little small cardboard box, looked like a product, and he puts it into his coat, and he says, "Dying alone."
Nice.
Shit.
That's good.
Shit.
Apologies to this crazy techno music that just popped up.
Hey, yo, you guys want to... That actually kind of was cool. Like, you guys want to kind of, like, improv, like, a piece of every, like a one, and then we tag, and then...
Okay, tag DeMarcus.
All right.
And then that fourth guy kills everyone.
The end
I
of
mean,
the series.
that was the implication.
Good tag.
Good tag.
It was a box. That was a box of poison.
Box of poison. Okay, so
Could have been a dead cat.
it was a dark and stormy night.
Darkness, lonely night.
Yes, dark and stormy night. And
Was it also lonely?
yes, lonely and stormy and dark and hard. And
Hard.
we were in a very abandoned building. We decided that, you know, we've heard rumors about the place, and we decided to check it out, and we bet each other we couldn't stay a whole night. Tech Sean.
Pick it up.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I heard someone screaming out there, and I took my thing.
Breath away.
Yeah, a little bit. It was a very I was like, okay, what's happening? Repeat the last couple lines. I'm sorry.
So we're all in an abandoned house, and we kind of dared each other to stay the night.
We dared that we couldn't stay a full night.
Okay. So,
Oh my God, that's Planet Booty.
we were just talking about them on the trip down here. But, yeah, I mean, at first we try to take the edge off. You know, we bring our drinks and we bring our games and we just hang out, chill out, have a good time. Eventually, maybe 3, 4 in the morning hits, and all of a sudden you hear just a rapid knock from upstairs. Just a rapid knock. What's going on? One of us has to go up there and check it out. So, how do we draw straws with this? How do we choose who gets to go up there and check it out? So, we all play rock, paper, scissors. And because Alan's usually in charge, Alan wins this. Because I know it's not coffee and pie, but Alan wins. So, Alan has to go check out what that rapid knocking noise is upstairs.
We played Super Smash Brothers Ultimate to decide who has to go check on it, and Alan won.
Alan won. He got first place this week, so. And
tagging?
I'll tag out, yeah.
Tagging Alan.
So DeMarcus is sent to go check on it.
Someone about to die? Fuck.
Why DeMarcus?
Because I'm a fan of horror movie tropes.
God. Killing me
That
off.
is a good way to explain that.
DeMarcus is sent to go check on it. And Planet Booty was playing.
That's some weird knocks. Should everything want to get naked?
Are you tagging?
No.
Just listening to Planet Booty.
Yeah. Got distracted by the naked song.
So the three of us are just sitting around waiting for him to come back. And is it necessary to tag? Because I can kind of wrap this story up.
Go for it.
Oh, I wanna.
Oh, we'll find one.
Okay, no. So it's been a half hour. We're getting worried. So we're all just sitting there worried, just waiting for him. Half hour passes, another half hour passes, and finally, DeMarcus comes back, and he's just like, "Hey," I'm like,
What was it?
"What happened?" He's like, "Nothing." And he just sits down back with us like nothing. You know, like he hasn't been gone for an hour. There's my tag.
And so we all think it's very, very strange that DeMarcus has sort of lost time. And so Sean asks, do you know how long you were gone? And DeMarcus says, I mean, I just left. I just went to go check out that noise. There wasn't anything there, and I came right back. And Alan says, but you were gone for like an hour. And DeMarcus laughs. He's like, no, that can't be right. As I said, I went to go check it out. I just left. Stop messing with me. That's not funny. And then while they're having this conversation, there's a sharper knock from upstairs. And DeMarcus, like, everyone reacts to this except DeMarcus. And Sean and Brad and Alan kind of look at each other. And Brad finally says, or I guess I say, all right, don't worry about it. I'm going to check this out. This isn't, whatever. I'll be right back.
Okay. Can I do a quick tag?
Sure.
Quick tag.
He says he's going to check it. DeMarcus finally speaks up again and says, oh, you should all check it.
You should all check it.
There's my quick tag.
Oh, okay. And we all kind of give DeMarcus the side eye. And I look at Sean and Alan and I kind of shrug. And so Sean and Alan decide to come with me as I go check out the noise. But DeMarcus stays put. And he says, we'll just stay here. It's fine. And tag Sean.
All right, so we go upstairs to see what's going on. You know, slowly, making sure we're ever so cautious. But we do keep on hearing every once in a while this sharp knock coming from upstairs. That's rapidly going faster. And we're all stunned. We're just like, okay, why is it so loud? Why is it getting faster? Why is it happening more often? And eventually, we get to the door that's behind. And we try to open it, but it's locked. So...
Tag.
Take it back at me. They struggle with the door for a while. And again, the knocks keep getting sharper and sharper. And louder and louder. Alan's like, why won't this door open? Why can't we get through it? Obviously, DeMarcus went through it. They hear a little faint, hello? Is it me you're looking for? And they pause for a sec.
Alan shits his pants.
Brad, Yep.
Finally, the door swings open. The three of us have like given up trying to open the door. We turn to face away from it to start to talk, and the door just swings open behind us. We turn around. We kind of peek into the room, and there's DeMarcus laying on the floor, and that's the last thing that any of us remember.
And then I pull out my revolver from my pocket and I shoot myself in the temple.
And I pull out my gun.
Well, this has been about an hour.
Cool.
So, yeah, this was fun.
This is cool. A nice little.
Yeah, next time we try this, we should find a space with more space and not with a fire raging inside my truck.
Yeah. And less techno.
Yes, please, less Planet. We love you, Planet Booty, but we're trying to tell scary stories here.
Raging fire
yeah.
from my soul.
Yeah, this was fun.
Little coffee and
A little coffee anal sis.
On our coffee anal pie.
Anal pie, there we go.
But yeah,
cyst.
thanks for joining us.
Anal
Hey, full circle.
All I heard was anal cyst.
They
so.
were roommates.
Full circle.
Did you hear they were roommates?
Stepsisters, stepbrothers having sex.
Good evening, intrepid listeners. This is the Pasta Shade, the host of Midnight Marinara, and this podcast is part of CreativeHorror.com, a network of podcasts and creators working together to build a constructive community of horror fans. For more content like this, visit us at CreativeHorror.com.